Can you please give us a brief background of Clean Properties Limited? No?
Flea Properties started 2016 to be precise. Before we became this, I was working in a real estate firm as a company lawyer for over a year. Yes. I found interest in real estate when on that fateful day, I didn't go to work and I met with an old friend who was interested in buying. She just asked me, "What are you doing? What are you into?" So I'm like, "Okay, I work in a real estate firm in their legal department." And she was like, "Ah, I know this company. Okay, what do you guys have?" And she said she was interested in buying us. She bought 3 plots. I'm sorry, 4 plots to be precise. And the commission was very sweet. Okay, I'm just here, just earning my salary when I could actually earn more. The commission was very enticing, so I started reading more about property law, real estate, and all. So I developed my interest in that, and eventually, the company was owing me a lot of money, like 6 months' salary. So I just had to leave. So after leaving, I even intended to practice, go into legal practice, but eventually I realized that okay, let me just diversify into real estate. So that was how I started. I started working from home, gradually gathering my clients, putting them together. I started getting referrals, doing documentations, helping them with a deed of assignments, And then my I sold the property sometime, I think as 2018 thereabouts, and my husband, Mr. Akinseye, got interested in the business. I was like, okay, let me invest in your business and let's see how far it's going to take us. So as of 2019, we got some land, some properties. We were working towards it, but at 2020, we um, started fully as a body. So, and since then to now, even though when we started, Corona came in, it affected us a little bit, but after that, we re-strategized and then picked eventually. Okay, in the next 10 years, I see flea properties everywhere, not just in Nigeria, in the globe as well. We have a lot of things we're working towards, a lot of plans for people. We are here not just because of this particular kind of people, but because of everyone. We're trying to create a a room whereby even the roadside hawkers can own a property in Lagos, in Nigeria as a whole. So we have a payment structure planned out that is going to be suitable for every person, no matter where or the angle you're coming in from. So our main aim is to make people owners, landlords, and probably so they can be more comfortable, because when house rent is out of your struggles. I think it could actually help the poverty level in the country as well. Okay, speaking of our staffs, um, every quarterly we do a training. We bring in people to train our staffs in every angle on how to have a proper human relations with our clients, which is the most important part of our business. And then we do team bonding from time to time as well, in order to help the company grow as well. So far, I am really grateful for the kind of staff I have. They've been cooperative, and I don't think I have any reason why I'll let any of them grow, because I'm looking at a situation whereby the ones I'm grooming right now and will end up heading some of our branches eventually.
Serious issue around the real estate sector by some real estate practitioners. There's cloning of certificate of occupancy, the CFO, and we're looking at a way to on we can stop the cloning of CFO. What's your take on it now?
Okay, to stop that, first of all, it's going to be very difficult. Reason being that most people do not have the understanding or are not really 100% aware that they can get duped. Reason being that, you know, when someone comes in now and they ask you, I'm talking from a a let me say a client's perspective. When a real estate company comes in and they're telling you, okay, I have this, the next thing you're going to ask is, what title document does it have? And they'll tell you it has a C of O. Okay, now it's in your duty to ask or to request for such documents and run a proper search at land to confirm the authenticity of the documents. But at times when they come up like that, some clients are actually lazy to go through all that stress. And we have a lot of real estate companies that are actually even affecting the genuine ones, all in the name of selling sorry, the genuine ones, all in the name of making sales. The particular real estate company I worked with was just selling. We had some clients that didn't even come to inspect the land. They were just buying, like, okay, I think I know, I've heard of this, I've heard of that. After brainwashing them, they actually, the agents go through proper, what will I call it? Proper, let me say, brainwashing segments where they are taught how to deal with their clients. So as a client and a busy person, when you hear all the presentations and all, you be like, okay, let me just give them a try, and eventually you end up getting into the wrong hands. So now back to your question, that what do I think the government can do about it? Well, I think there should be a proper regulatory bodies that would, because most of all these estates, most of all these companies are known. They have the presence online. There should be a body that would regulate the real estate um, as a whole, in order to be able to differentiate the fakes from the genuine ones. I think that's basically all, but it's just a part of it, because anybody can walk up with a CFO and just make it look real. And another thing is, if the government themselves can, because normally it's hard to get a CFO, it's very difficult, and they will tell you it's going to take like a year plus, because the governor will have to sign or representative will have to sign, and they do not sign. Lagos in particular, it's very hard to get a CFO. So every person will just probably meet one of the workers and in Alausa and ask that, please, madam, I need a CFO to this document. They will tell you to pay a certain amount to fast track it. At the end of the day, they are not even doing anything about it. But they will tell you that, okay, this is your file number. It's in processing. It's in process rather. So I think there should probably be another body in lands that should take that part more serious, because it's not just the CFO. We have the other titles as well. You want me to answer that question? They cannot put a stop to it now when there's corruption everywhere. How is that possible? How is that possible? Yes, now, because you see them building a house close to a canal and they are marking it. Yes, they've gone there to mark it to let you know that, no, this is wrong. And at the end of the day, the next thing you see is the house has been completed, because they've gone to bribe. So it's going to be very difficult. I don't know how, but it's going to be very hard, difficult. And even most of all these estates now are more about how much they are going to make. They are more about, okay, let me build this estate using inferior materials, building materials to make up. There was a time we went to renovate a building. The decking was leaking, only to find out that the engineer did not use the right building materials and all. So it's our human factor is there as well. The stinginess part of the engineers. I don't know. I hope you're not recording that. The human factor, the government factor as well. So it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very. But what I'm going to advise is, if you're going to have any structure, make sure you're giving it to a reliable construction company, and or if you know you cannot monitor it yourself, do a background check on wherever it is you want to give your job to, and make sure that they're going to use the right materials. I think youth, okay. Well, I'm not going to say much, but the advice I'm going to give the youth is, there are some businesses you can start without capital. There are a lot of unemployed youths rather out there, and capital is an added advantage, yes, but Rome was not built in a day, and no matter what kind of business you want to start, there is usually a starting point, and that's the point where you gather all the experience you need. So real estate is a kind of business that you do not even need an office space yet to start to run, and it's a kind of business where you can get lucky. Let me use the word lucky. You can get lucky because you might meet someone that might just give you a business opportunity in real estate, and a 5% of anything you do, I think it's a lot. No matter how small, it's a lot. And do not. So I would advise you to show a little bit of interest in real estate, because eventually they would enjoy the business. I can only advise on the angle I'm into. So, so my advice to the youth, in summary, basically, is that they should um, think real estate
Thank you for that
and
wonderful
think
advice.
5%.
5% is a whole lot of money when you're
Is a
making
lot.
30 million naira. 5% is a whole lot of money. It's a whole lot of
Even
money.
in a billionaire
Yes, in a
is a lot.
billion.
They are billionaire transaction.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, ma'am. For the sake of our viewers watching you,
Okay.
they are curious to know this beautiful, elegant lady. Can you please introduce yourself, ma'am?
My name is Mrs. KEMI AKINSEYE, the principal agent of Lake Properties Nigeria. I'm married with 2 kids. My husband is a partner in the company, Mr. Jide AKINSEYE, and we run the affairs of the company together, hoping for a brighter future. Thank you. Okay, being a mother of two, um, being partners with my husband as well, it means we are both going to unwind. So we go out, have fun, go hang out, go to the movies, and at times just probably rest at home.